Welcome everybody to more Heroes of the Storm on Khaldor TV. First of all, I want to apologize, like the settings on the green screen today are not completely perfect, and well, today we only have also one map and not more than that. The reason is actually quite simple. I'm currently in the process of changing my entire setup here. Some of the hardware has already arrived, other hardware will arrive within the next few days, so I'm currently setting everything up so that in the future we're going to have a much better production, especially for the live streams, but also for the videos. So there's a lot of stuff that I have to do these days, and that's why I'm kind of busy, but still we have one map today, and I want to talk about that a little bit. We have Infernal Shrines as our map, and in this case it's TeamLiquid versus Gamers2. So we have a match between the two of them, and of course Infernal Shrines is a map where you are trying to get a lot of AoE damage out, since you want to take those objectives, and also it's really important to dominate earlier on in the game. When it comes to the bans, we had pretty interesting setups here, especially with Gamers2 banning out Uther and also getting rid of Khaldor. Khaldor of course can be quite a pain, since you're always just like going for that one spot on the map, and those living bombs can do a whole lot of damage there then later on. We also had a bit of a problem apparently for TeamLiquid here in the past with assassins on this map, because they decided to just like ban out melee assassins left and right, getting rid of Kerrigan and also getting rid of Zeratul. We're having still a single tank setup on the side of TeamLiquid, with Johanna going up against Leoric and Arthas here. So interestingly enough, both of those heroes that have a lot of wave clear have not been eliminated in the bans. Oftentimes both of them are being banned out, but in this case the teams just said like, alright, we're going to allow both of them, we're just going to split them, and then we're going to be in a very similar situation here. So our map is going to come up next. It's Infernal Shrines, as already mentioned. It's going to be a fun one. I hope that you enjoy it. So see you guys in just a few seconds on Infernal Shrines, in the match between TeamLiquid and Gamers2. Alright, lads and ladies, welcome to our game here on Infernal Shrines, part of the OGS series match between TeamLiquid and Gamers2, the two teams going up against each other here. And we have to the left side of the map in blue, it is of course once again TeamLiquid with Black Scorp on Sylvanas. We have Vortex on Jaina, Garampakete on Malfurion, Lucifron playing Johanna here, and Falcon on Sergeant Hammer. To the right side of the map, the Polish team, we have Nika on Vala, Shehu on Arthas, Juve on Leoric, Bashik on Nezebo, and Leo from Poland playing Karazim here for the heals. And well, let's get right into it. Of course, we are still looking at a map that is currently being, well, no, I don't really want to say investigated, but at least looked at by Blizzard, because they realized that there's a few things that are not quite right in the next patch. There were already a few announcements that a few things are going to be changed to make sure that the map is not as snowbally as it currently oftentimes is. But the teams are adapting to that by their drafts, and in this case, actually, we're seeing Leoric and Johanna not banned out, but they are taken on this map, and that helps you a lot when you are trying to take one of the objectives as soon as those shrines spawn. For now though, we're having a big fight in the middle already happening here with a 4 versus 4. Bashik is starting to rotate up to the top, where we already see Sergeant Hammer in play. We're looking at the level 1 talents. Not really too many surprises there. I mean, we have a couple of globe talents in this case. Conjurer's Pursuit, Regeneration Master, Reanimation, but Black Scorp, on Sylvanas gets attacked right away. And you can of course already tell with the setup that we are seeing here for TeamLiquid that they are going to try and push pretty hard on this map. They have Sylvanas together with Sergeant Hammer, two heroes that are amazing when it comes to the pushing power, especially of course against structures, but also for the fights when we have the shrines activated. They can be very, very useful. On level 1, it's once again Lost Souls, a very popular talent these days. Of course, you can still go for With the Wind and a couple of other talents here on level 1, but this particular Shadow Dagger talent becomes more and more popular. And also has a great synergy with the level 16 talent that you can get then later on, to make sure that you have enough burst power to take down an opponent really, really fast. And that's immediately going to be important when those shrines spawn. Now 1.5 minutes into the game, we're already starting with exactly that. And we have also an adjustment on the side of Vala to cater to the needs of this map in particular. Going for a multi-shot build here, which can help a lot. Very popular build also in the Korean scene, but of course here on those shrine fights, it's always important to have a lot of AoE, and that's exactly what Gamers2 is going to try and use here. Once again, the teams are trying to set up Falcon with the mines already in position, and they're trying to go straight for that first fight here. Shehu at the front line with the Frozen Tempest, and Juve is moving in with the double warrior composition that they're trying to run here. And at the same time now, with all that damage that TeamLiquid is moving in, they're trying to take down Juve, but they don't get the kill just yet. A lot of those minions already in the hands of Gamers2. The Polish team doing really well on this first Shrine fight, and they're doing an amazing job at 20 already, and they only need another 6 to get the first Punisher of the game. The kill against Johanna, more or less securing that already. They lose Leoric, but this early in the game, the tank is going to be back in just a few seconds. Arthur's on the other hand, he is going to need to walk back from the Nexus here, but it looks like that Punisher is still going to be taken by Gamers2. Sylvana's now taken out as well, and that makes for an even trade. Team Hero kills, 2 kills against 2. So already you can really tell that especially Johanna is under a lot of pressure in these fights, since she is a solo tank against a double tank composition, and Malfurion is going to try and keep her alive as much as he can. That also gives, of course, TeamLiquid a lot of damage that they can use then, not only with Sylvanas and Sergeant Hammer, but also Jaina that they're using here for additional burst damage. The Punisher not really making a big impression here, since we have Falcon in the back line, where Sergeant Hammer can really defend against that quite easily. So normally it's not really that first Punisher that is all that important on the map. It's more about Punisher number 2, number 3, where you can really try to snowball a bit when you are aiming for an experience lead and maybe also a talent advantage. Talking talents, we have on level 4 now. No Frozen Wastes already taken for the mana cost reduction, so in this case Arthur's is not going for Destruction, a very common talent if you're trying to get a bit more damage out of the strong warrior hero, especially of course with the potential Frostburn feats on level 16 that you can also get to further buff the trade, but in this case it's the Frozen Tempest, so we can actually expect Biting Cold to be taken on level 13 later on there as well. With the rest of the level 4 talents, we have a few really interesting choices now too. We have Paralysis taken for Sylvanas, which is a talent that is becoming a bit more popular since teams don't really want to go into Envenom all that often anymore. Paralysis can help you a bit to push in structures, to make sure that you are getting your money's worth when you are attacking a fort or keep, and in this case this is exactly what Blackscorp is trying to do. It helps him with the pushing power, helps him with the siege damage. We're seeing Jaina after the Conjurer's Pursuit on level 1 going straight into Snowstorm, which of course makes a whole lot of sense. Oftentimes Arcane Intellect is taken on level 4, but in this case if you already get your mana regeneration with a level 1 talent, you want to go into that radius increase which we are seeing now. Camp stolen away by Gamers2. The Polish team is doing a pretty decent job. Both of the teams heading into level 7 now, just in time for that second shrine up at the top, and now they can fight on even talents once again, with Karazim, by the way, going into the healing ward on level 4, which can be pretty cool, since a lot of these fights, of course, happen around the shrines, and that's limited space, so you get a lot of your money's worth out of the healing power of a healing ward if you can place it properly, but you need to make sure that it's a little bit in the background so that the AoE spells are not going to take it down. A full Condemn build, by the way, on the side of Johanna. We're going to talk about that in just another second. For now, it looks like Gamers2 is in a better position here. They arrived at the shrine first, and they're setting up shop now and trying to take, of course, the second Punisher. They're already at 20 minions. They're going for Falcon. Nice wall of zombie. Juve moving in, trying to deliver the final blow. Falcon goes down, but so does Jaina. 2 of the heroes of TeamLiquid already eliminated, and they are on the run. That allows now Gamers2 to take that second Punisher quite easily. We're having on level 7 the Ghastly Reach for Leoric after he went on level 4 for the Hardened Bones. No big surprises here in the talents for the warrior hero. And when we're looking on the other side of the map, looking at TeamLiquid, we have on level 7 Life Drain taken, which is actually a really interesting sustain talent that Sylvanas just took here. Oftentimes on level 7 you will see the Unstable Poison, which allows, of course, to burst creep waves away really, really fast, but in this case it is Life Drain. Pretty interesting, and of course that has also a lot of synergy with the level 1 talent, but now TeamLiquid is in quite a bit of trouble since that Punisher is going all out on that fort now. Oh, a nice kill against Grand Paquette. Malfurion goes down. Gamers2 is pushing them back, and of course now they have an opportunity to take that fort at the top lane. They already solidified themselves a very nice lead in experience, taking level 10 in just a few seconds now. We're having Conviction and Eternal Retaliation now taken on Johanna, which is kind of interesting if you think about it, since oftentimes when Eternal Retaliation has been picked on level 4, you will see Johanna head into battle momentum to get even more condemns out during these fights. The level 10 on the other hand, with the Divine Palm, we are seeing the March of the Black King, Strafe being used now too. And I suppose Arthas has the choice of either going into the Army of the Dead or Syndragosa. They have a double warrior composition against a single warrior composition, so they don't necessarily have to use him with the Army of the Dead. They still decide to go into the sustain talent over Syndragosa, which could help locking targets down and also, of course, disabling forts and keeps if you try and push. Fnatic, well, in this case, TeamLiquid, my bad, has, of course, to scramble a bit to get additional experience back, and they're going to try and do exactly that. The Gunshin is also being picked now by Gamers2. They have a very, very solid setup here, of course, with their experience lead, and they might even be able to take down another set of structures before the next Punisher spawns on the map or the next Shrine is getting activated. I highly doubt that Gamers2 is going to be able to rely on a talent advantage at that time, but before it happens, we could see, without the level 10, another fort taken out. That's exactly what Gamers2 is trying to do, but the level 10 is already in play for TeamLiquid. They have the Blessed Shield, Tranquility, Water Elemental, Wailing Arrow, and of course Napalm now taken, but Gamers2 with a very nice retreat here. They take down the fort and immediately move back, and at this point, they are finding themselves in a very solid lead in experience, but it's still even talents. So this fight is going to be crucial now for Gamers2 and TeamLiquid, and TeamLiquid is going to move in, but they are a little bit late to the party once again, and we see Gamers2 with a lead in minion kills. They are on 10 already, but back in the lane we have Falcon already setting up shop with Sergeant Hammer, and now we are seeing Grandpa Kette, Blackscope. They are all just like trying to go for a kill against Juve, and they get it. Leoric is down, Vortex moving in with the Water Elemental, trying to lock Arthas down. Nice Blessed Shield, and the burst damage of Jaina takes him on. Very well done. Vala is low now too, and even with only 5 minions remaining, and this could well be the first Punisher for TeamLiquid. They are claiming every single one. We have Lucifer and Vortex, the two Moreno brothers, trying to push Gamers2 back right now, creating some space. One more minion and that's it. They might even get a kill, another kill against Leoric, and they do. Still an experience lead for the Polish team, but they lost 2 heroes here, and it kills. It's now 5 versus 5. The first Punisher in the game now for TeamLiquid, and they're already trying to utilize that to just jump in and take a couple of structures that might even get them the lead in experience, and the Mortar Punisher here is doing a whole lot of work, pushing everyone on the side of Gamers2 back, and they are aiming for the first kill against the fort. TeamLiquid already lost 2, and they want to make sure that they get their money's worth out of this Punisher. Once again, Leoric has to move back with the Wraith Walk here. Falcon, with all that siege damage, is taking down that fort, and TeamLiquid is moving back. They know that overextending here would be a huge mistake, so they're just saying like, well, we already have what we wanted. We can now rotate, take those waves that have been building up for Gamers2, get the experience there, and then maybe like take a camp or 2. That's exactly what they're doing right now, already claiming another Khaldor camp here. They're taking the siege camp and up to the top lane with a pretty big wave that now Grandpa Kette is going to try and take care of. So that's a lot of experience that might even bring them to level 13, which would be amazing for them. That is that level lead that they were hoping for, at least the talent lead. But from the looks of it, Gamers2, just now taking the Bruiser camp over here to the right side, is going to be able to take level 13 by the time that those shrines are going to be activated again, and that will bring them on even footing for fight. So a pretty cool game actually of Infernal Shrines here. Not really that snowbally game that we oftentimes see, but in this case we're having now a very even match between the two teams. With Hold Your Ground taken for Johanna on level 13, we're seeing Giant Kill on level 13 for Sergeant Hammer, so going all out on the damage, and Life Seed after Enduring Growth, so full heal build for Grandpa Kette. And that's one of these things, when you don't really have heroes that can jump you, you don't necessarily need to go into an ice block on level 13, so Grandpa Kette really going to try and assist his team as much as he can. A bit of a trap here with the 2 warriors in the back line, Shihu and Yuva just waiting for an opportunity to jump in, and level 13 brings that opportunity as the extra talent is finally ready, but they're a bit too early, and Juve is losing a lot of his hit points before the fight even starts, so they have to back off for now. We're seeing the level 13 talents now for Gamers2 with a Frost Shot on Vala. Makes, of course, a whole lot of sense if you're already going into the composite arrows on level 1. But now both of the teams going for it. Once again, nice Divine Palm. Lucifron low and gets taken out. Even Grandpa Kette with his healing power and tranquility can't save him. And that's, of course, a big problem for TeamLiquid now. The Shrine is activated and we see Malfurion without his cooldown. He can't use his heroic anymore. He was trying to save his ally, but that didn't work out for him. Evasive Fire for Sylvanas. We're having improved Ice Block. There's the Thing of the Deep, which gives, of course, an increased range on the basic abilities. And TeamLiquid is just saying, boys, we can't fight for it. Johanna is down, we have a single tank composition, so we have no frontliner. We need to do something. Let's move out to the top lane and try to take down the fort to at least get some experience, and they do that. The problem is that Gamers2 has a perfect answer to that. They are responding with a push at the bot lane, where they're trying to put some pressure on the wall at the keep. They're only leaving Leoric there to take the Punisher, and the rest of the team was securing them additional experience. But as you can tell, we still have TeamLiquid slightly ahead. I mean, it's level 15 versus 14 right now. But Gamers2, they take another camp, and then they're going to push together with a Punisher, and that is an 11-minute, 12-minute Punisher that can do a whole lot of work. An Arcane Punisher at that, which is extremely dangerous, and already jumping in the backline, Falcon with the damage, and here comes Gamers2 trying to go through that wall to assist the Punisher and make sure that that first keep of the game is going to fall. Once again, the Polish team moving in here. 6 kills against 5 right now. The Punisher is getting rather low, jumping in once again. And there is, of course, Arcanes everywhere. Arcane sentries trying to take that down. The Bruiser camp is doing whatever. Well, actually, it's in this case the Siege Giant camp. And it's taken apart already. But once again, TeamLiquid with a pretty nice defense here. The entire situation was very unfortunate for them, losing Johanna this early in the fight, before even the shrine had been activated. Then at the same time, a lot of their heroic abilities being in cooldown. So even with all of that, the rotation that they had on the map worked in their favor. They got more experience out of it. With Sergeant Hammer and also the rest of their very burst-heavy setup, they were able to take down the Punisher super fast. They are going to be the ones hitting a level 16 first. And for Gamers2, that's not really a great position to be in right now. They took most of the objectives on the map, but they couldn't really keep up with all of that experience that TeamLiquid was leeching here. So a very nice move by the Spanish team. And they now have finally that cold embrace. We're seeing them with the Northern Exposure. We have Tenacious Roots on Malfurion, the Holy Renewal, which is becoming more and more popular as the level 16 talent on Johanna, and the Graduating Range, which has more or less taken over since the last patch. Now that you can go in and out of Siege mode a lot faster, very few players are actually using hovering Siege mode, at least when it comes to the competitive scene. Falcon can of course use now the Graduating Range to have a very, very nice position here in those fights. And level 16 isn't just ready yet for Gamers2, and that does not really allow them to take a fight. Finally the talent is available to them, and that gives us the Leaping Spiders for Nazebo. We have also now the Circle of Life for additional healing power on Gamers2 healer Karazim, and besides that we have Blood for Blood and Stone Skin. By the way, we have no Biting Cold on level 13. Relentless has been chosen not only for Arthas, but also on the side of Karazim. So a bit of an interesting choice here, considering that he went on that level 4 talent with the Frozen Waste. I perfectly expect that the Biting Cold to be taken then later on 13 for the extra damage. That didn't happen though, and now we have again level 16 talents versus 16 talents. The teams are moving in for another Punisher, and this is going to be a super important one. They scale over time, and that's something that both of these teams are going to try to use to their advantage. Once again, the setup with Falcon in the backline, and now that he has Graduating Range, this is an amazing setup for him. Great range here on his shots, and he's putting that to the test already. Once again, Malfurion healing everybody up thanks to Tranquility. The kill against Nazebo, a very good start into the fight for TeamLiquid. Gamers2 is trying to move back and get a few more shots in, but both of the teams are roughly on 20 minion kills already, and it doesn't really look good for Gamers2. Falcon now setting up position right next to that Arcane Tower, and therefore we're having him just zoning everybody out. The Punisher for TeamLiquid starting to barrel down the mid lane, and during all of that we still have a bit of pressure up to the top, since there has been one Shaman camp taken earlier by Gamers2, and that is doing a whole lot of damage. It even forces Johanna back to defend, since one of the towers is already down and the gate is about to fall. We see Leoric, who just moved back. He was trying to get some experience for his team, but in the mid-time, of course, we're seeing the mid lane being pushed hard. Falcon again with the Graduating Range unfolding, and he gets so much damage in right now against heroes, and he's also, of course, able together with Sylvanas, who disables that keep over and over again, thanks to the Shadow Dagger and the arrows, to just like get more damage in, take the keep down. The Punisher is already on core, not really getting anything done with the core. I mean, scratching the shield a bit, but that's about it. But of course, this is still an amazing amazing position now for TeamLiquid to be in. They're still only 1.5 levels ahead, but if you're looking at the damage right now, Falcon, of course, on Sergeant Hammer, 29,000 hero damage. He was focusing mostly on the siege damage. He has an 108,000. We have Sylvanas currently with the pretty solid numbers here now too. But Vortex is caught out completely out of position, trying to utilize in the last second a move that saves him. Maybe? No, he's down, but so is Leoric, I suppose. Divine Palm saving him. Great job here by Leo from Poland, getting in with his heroic ability and saving Leoric. So pretty useful kill here actually for them. They might be able to steal a few of the mercenary camps away now, and with another 40 seconds on the death timer for Jaina, they could also be able to take maybe the next Punisher here. We're gonna see about that, as both of the teams are aiming to take additional mercenary camps to push these lanes even harder. And at this stage of the game, you of course want to make sure that you have the mercenary camps pushing your opponent once that those shrines are activated against, that you get maybe a few more seconds where you can set up position already around the shrine, get into a good spot to really take that fight, and also the first minions that are spawned by the shrine. As it happens though, Jaina is about to be back in another couple of seconds, and the temple has not been announced just yet, so it's going to be a 5 versus 5. TeamLiquid very unlikely to hit level 20 before that happens, but maybe if they're able to split and soak multiple lanes, they might be able to make it happen after all. They have 30 seconds now for that. If they would get the final talent, the Storm talent, that would of course be great for them, but right now it looks like TeamLiquid and Gamers2 might fight on even talents in the next battle. But already Gamers2 just like setting up position here to maybe surprise somebody and snipe a target early on. And TeamLiquid is so close to that additional talent. They are really close. Here comes Gamers2 though. They're trying to jump in. Vortex already off the doubloon, but they can't get the kill. Juve going for the shrine right now. He has that skeleton swing and he has the ghastly reach that he can use there. It's going to be pretty easy for him to collect those, minions, and he does that. 14 taken already, but now level 20 has hit for TeamLiquid. They have a double Bolt of the Storm. You're seeing them with an indestructible Storm Shield and also the Nexus Frenzy, and that's of course insane for Falcon. There's a great spot here at the top left of the shrine. They're moving in, and this is where Gamers2, they have to fight, even though they're down a talent. A horrible position for them, but maybe they can make it work. Charism is super low, trying to stay alive. Divine Palm has not been used yet. He's trying not to waste it, and Gamers2 is able to take that Punisher. They're able to get it. Nika safe, but well, he dies after all. So still a pretty decent position considering. I mean, this is actually a bit of a win here for Gamers2, of course. They're not going to be able to do too much with the Punisher, but it was absolutely crucial for them to make sure that TeamLiquid did not get the objective. If they failed to do that, the game would have probably been over. And even if Gamers2 would have been able to defend, they would have lost their keep on the top lane for sure. And with them already out one keep in the mid lane, that would have been a disastrous position. 7 kills against 7 kills. We have now Gamers2 again trying to go for a few camps on the map, which is what they're doing. They're soaking experience, pushing back the mid lane, desperately trying to get to level 20. And TeamLiquid will have to wait for another shrine fight to really force that 5 versus 5. I don't really think that Gamers2 is going to be willing to allow them to go into a battle with them being down a talent again. But still, very solid position here by TeamLiquid, and a good job at that last fight for sure by Gamers2. Looking at the numbers here, we're seeing of course that Sergeant Hammer is starting to really increase the hero damage numbers. In siege damage we're at 120, 130,000 for Sergeant Hammer. We have, by the way, 50,000 damage on Azebo and another 45 on Vala. So pretty solid numbers here, but it's of course Leoric who takes the crown when it comes to the siege damage. Great job by him so far. The level 20 talents for them is not quite there yet, but Gamers2 is forced into a fight that they don't really want to fight, especially without those talents. Shiku is trying to move away. Nice Howling Blast here, slowing everybody down, and they are escaping without a single loss. Nika still alive. Finally, they're seeing the level 20 talents, and that means now Storm Shield for Charism. Did not go into the Divine Palm talent on level 20. We're having a double Hardened Shield now and double Bolt of the Storm. So it's all about the survivability here on level 20 for Gamers2. Most of the talents that we're seeing for TeamLiquid on level 20, most of the Storm talents for them are also directed towards survivability, with the exception of course of Sergeant Hammer. Having Nexus Frenzy just on an auto attack Sergeant Hammer is absolutely incredible, and that's exactly what they're trying to utilize right now. Again, we're seeing the shrines activating, this time up in the mid lane. both of the teams going to try to arrive there first and set up, especially when we're talking about Sergeant Hammer. 11 seconds left for that to happen. Heroic abilities are all ready, with the exception of the Water Elemental. Water Elemental is going to be down for another 15 seconds. Shouldn't be too bad. Should still be able to use it during the fight, but still, they have to wait a bit longer. Stall. And again, nice Howling Blast here. Everybody tries to go for Sergeant Hammer. That didn't really work out, though. Falcon moving back. Tranquility already being used. And at the same time, we're seeing Gamers2 still pushing them back. They're trying to aim for Grandpa Kato. He does not have his ice block, and therefore they are aiming for the healer. But Arthur's dies first, and it's again Gamers2 is on the run. But they can take down Lucifer. No, they cannot. They trigger indestructible. Bashik is a bit too far out, blinks away, still had his heroic up, and there we have him now in position, trying to just like deliver enough to drop Vortex or maybe trap Lucifer, but they lose Vala thanks to Falcon on the left side, and Divine Palm saving Karazem for now. But great disengage here on the side of Team Liquid. They still lost Jaina though, and it looks like Black Scott might fall as well. Wow, jumping into the wall. Don't really think that was intended. We have Gamers2 again with a better position at that shrine. But it's the 3 versus 4, and they can't really fight that. We can see Team Liquid, after welling up, moving in again. Black Scorp really low, but he's trying to supply at least some damage with the Shadow Dagger here. And they're using that immediately. You with a Ghastly Reach might be able to contribute to the minions taken. And we have Gary the Gigantian moving in now again. Juve at the front line. There's still the heals available. Leo from Korea is getting low in mana. So does Bashik here on a Zebo. Vala is already on the way back. Another 20 seconds for Jaina, and it looks like this Punisher will be headed down the lanes for Team Liquid. Team Liquid doing a good job here. 22 minutes into the game, we're seeing the Punisher moving down the mid lane, which by the way has no keep anymore. So the Punisher really can't kill anything except for the core, and if Gamers2 is able to make the defense happen, considering that Jaina is still not with Team Liquid here, then they have not really lost too much, but they need to make sure that that Punisher is not going to get a kill or two. The Punisher actually ignoring everything that I just said and says basically just like, well, mid lane, what do I want in the middle? I'm going to go up, at least take one of these towers down. Again, the engagement. Gamers2, they go in and they take the Hammer down. Hammer is down. Sergeant Hammer eliminated. She was a bit too far out. The Punisher already on the core, but we have a 5 versus 4 position once more, and let's see if Gamers2 can actually defend this. Punisher already down to half health, less than that, down to 30%. The shield is about to be gone, and Team Liquid is moving in with everything that they have for a quick right click. Maybe they do have enough damage. Gamers2 with the defense, they're going strong, but it's too late. The core is down. GG, well played, as Gamers2 loses on Infernal Shrines, and Team Liquid with another victory. Team Liquid in a back and forth game on the Infernal Shrines makes it happen and takes down Gamers2. Pretty well played here. And you could actually tell that this map, I personally actually like it. I mean, there's a few things about the map that I'm not really a fan of just yet. Especially, of course, that when those objectives spawn, you have one focus point on the map. So if you're behind, it's pretty difficult to actually make a comeback. But as you can already see, it's still possible if you play it smart. And the teams were able to fight on those objectives, usually with even talents, since both of them were very eager to go at least for some split pushes when they realized, hey, we are behind, we have to soak a few more lanes, we need to play it passive for now. And that made for a very interesting game here. Blizzard, of course, has already announced that they're going to make a few changes that should prevent snowballing it too much, but it's still one of these maps where those isolated fights on the shrines are going to be extremely important. Either way, Team Liquid with the victory here, so well played by them. Once again, I apologize that the green screen and everything is not working perfectly today, but as I said, the setup is going to be changed within the next few days. The changes are going to be completed, and then I will hopefully have tuned everything so that it is perfect. So yeah, audio settings are also going to be a little bit different and improved. I have to admit, I'm pretty excited for it. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be awesome setting everything up, and if it works like intended, then we're going to have a lot of fun in the future with the new setup here. But coming back to the game, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. If you liked the match, of course, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. Subscribe to Khaldor TV if you haven't done that yet. And guys, I'm going to see you next time with more Heroes of the Storm here on the channel. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in today. Have a good one. Bye-bye.